Hey guys, so in yesterday's video I did an e.l.f. and NYX haul and review, and one of the products that I reviewed was the new NYX Highlight and Contour Pro Palette. Well, Amy wanted to see it in action, so today I'm going to do a demonstration about how I would use various products in this palette for my overall look. So what I did was I just did my makeup and skipped a few steps so that I could share this with you today. So if you didn't see yesterday's video, you might want to go back and watch that first, because I did do swatches of all the various products that are in this palette and talked about each one and how I would or wouldn't use it. So these make really nice eyeshadows as well as face products. So what I did today was I applied my lid shade and then I just brought it up a little bit, but I'm going to do my highlight and crease color using this palette in addition to using some of the products as face products. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this shimmery white highlight shade and I'm just going to run my ring finger, I'm just going to swirl my ring finger in there and see how white and shimmery that is. I love a white highlight in an eye look. And I'm just going to take my finger and use that as an applicator, because I feel like I have better control over where it's going and how much is going on and blending and everything. I don't know, I just have started using my ring finger to apply my eyeshadow highlight, and it works for me. What can I say? So I like to start right where the arch is at its highest point and then bring it outward from there. And then just go back and blend it a little bit. Have to be very careful because I've already done my brows, so I don't want to mess up my brows. Okay, so I'm just going to do the same thing now, but to the other side. And just keep blending until it looks like you want it to. Okay, and I'm also going to do my crease color using this palette. And what I did was I took the eyeshadow that I used on my lids and had brought up a little bit, and I swatched it on my arm. And what I used is ColourPop So Quiche, and this is a soft olive shade, a soft olive metallic shade. I swatched that on my arm, and then I swatched not all, but I swatched 3 of these shades here. I didn't bother to swatch this one because this is so dark that I would only use that as an eyeliner. But I swatched these 3 shades next to the ColourPop So Quiche to see which one would look best as a crease color. And the one that I think will look the prettiest is the same shade that I use as my face contour, and that is this one right here. This is just, it's the perfect face contour. If it's the perfect eye contour or eye crease color shade, it's gorgeous. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to use a Real Techniques pointed crease brush, and this is from the new-ish Bold Metals collection. It's number 201. So I'm just going to put a little bit of that shade right there, and what that is basically is a cool toned taupe. Even though this lid shade is warm tone, for some reason they work well together. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit of that on my brush, and these powders are very, very pigmented, so I'm just going to put a small amount, and I'm going to start on the outside crease area and just deposit that shade, concentrating on the outside crease, and then I'm going to run it forward. Now I do have a little bit of the Quiche mixed in there as well. So I'm getting sort of a combination of those two. I like to do that a lot of times, especially if I'm using a shimmery or a glittery shade on my lids, I like to bring it up a little bit and then work the crease color into that same color. I just think it looks really nice. All right, I'm just going to put a tiny little bit more on my brush and then do the other side. Again, starting on the outside crease area and then bring it inward. You can get really precise with this brush. I'm so happy with the two brushes that I got from this line. And apparently I chose well, because I've seen review videos on this line of brushes and some people did not like certain brushes in this line, so I had decided I was going to get one eye brush and one face brush, and I'm really happy with them. Alright, that looks pretty even. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to take an e.l.f. fan brush and I'm going to run that into that same shimmery white shade. I'm just going to dust it on there, and then I'm going to do my face highlight shade. Just like that. And next what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply my blush. And let's see. This is an Inglot 4SS brush, and I'm going to use Benefit Rockateur. Just dust some of that right along the edge of where the highlighter was. I like this blush because it's really subtle. It's subtle, but it's really pretty. And then for my contour, I'm going to use the Real Techniques contour brush. It's number 301, and this is also from the Bold Metals collection that just came out. I don't know if these brushes are permanent or not. I'm not really sure. Okay, so I'm going to use that same contour shade, that cool toned taupe, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to very gently press the edge of this brush into the product. So I have very little on there. Between the product being pigmented and the way this brush works, you don't need a lot. So I'm going to suck in my cheek now and do my face contour. See, now I don't need hardly anything on that brush, and then I'm just going to blend it. So just gently press a small amount in there. Okay, I feel like I put more product on this side, so in order to even it out, I am just going to add a little bit more to the other side. Okay, now sometimes when I do this, I go a little too far forward, so I'm just gonna blend out the excess product that hits right here. Have a tendency to go a little too far in, so I'm just gonna use my fingers to blend away any excess product. Okay, so now let's see how that looks. This side looks pretty nice in terms of highlight, blush, contour. This side I feel like the highlight might come down just a tad bit too low. So all I'm gonna do is just take a little bit more blush and just blend it right where I can see that the highlight is just a little too low. Okay, now I can see the highlight, blush, contour, and it looks pretty even. Okay, so I think that's it. So those are going to be my go-tos. I'm not a fan of bronzer. I've tried and tried and tried, and it just, bronzer, like just bronzing up my whole face, I don't like the way it looks when I'm done. It just doesn't go with my coloring. So I think that these two shades are probably going to be my go-tos. And my nose is very thin, so I don't contour my nose because it's super thin already. I don't want it to be any thinner than it is. It'd look crazy. And some people highlight right along here, right along this line, they highlight. And I don't know, I'm not a fan of the way that looks, having a shiny forehead and nose and everything. I don't know, I'm just not a fan of it. I only like highlighter right here and right here. Those are the only two spots that I like to see highlight. And contour, again, right here, right here. Now I could do some along here because I don't have a very defined jawline. However, what I've noticed is when you do that, no matter how careful you are, it can sometimes make it look kind of crazy when you've got a darkness along here and then your face is lighter and then it goes back to the lightness again. It's very hard to get that so that it's all blended. I find it's better just to leave it because my skin has a tendency to be a little darker here anyway, so I don't want to add any bronzer to that. So let's see what happens when I take my hair down now. So that's it. That's going to be the main focus, I think, is those two pots that are in there, the shimmery white and the light matte taupe. I will use the other shades, but probably not that often. But it would be nice to have these if I was gonna play around using different looks. And you know, I will use the other shades, but I know that those two that I just used are gonna be the ones that I use all the time. So I'm glad that they're going to sell these individually so that I can replace the ones that I do use the most when I use them up, if I use them up. And the only reason why I say that is because, you know, we're always trying out new products and stuff, but I have a feeling that the products that I was using for highlight and contour are gonna get pushed aside now, because I do really enjoy these, and I think it was absolutely worth paying $25 to get this. I really enjoy this product, and I think you would too. You know, depending on your skin tone and tastes and preferences, you may not end up using the same products that I'm using, or you might have products in here that work better for your particular look and taste. So that's it, you guys, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.